I mean, I'm not obviously English. Yeah. I don't know why I'm getting this question.
Yeah. Hi guys, Merry Christmas. If you are celebrating today, and welcome to our holiday Q&A special. Paddy is here. It's been a long time.
It has been. I actually feel a bit like Sam Allardyce, basically, when there's no other option left. You just give him a call and like, I was available the whole time. Yeah.
Can you save us from getting relegated?
Yeah, absolutely.
That was the question.
Yeah.
Right, we've got loads of your questions from the community tab, so thank you to all of you who put a question in there, and myself and Paddy are going to go through a few of them.
I'm going to start off first.
Kick us
One
off.
for you. Biggie Cheese, of course. Do you think Harry Kane will ever get his move to a bigger club, or has the opportunity passed?
Okay. Santa hat off, logical Harry Kane hat on.
Is there a logical Spurs cap
There is
for
a
you,
logical
though?
Spurs hat to put on.
Okay, all right,
I think it's passed.
Yeah.
And I know everyone's going to say that's because I don't want him to leave. It's also true, I don't want him to go. I think there's better options out there.
It's been a lost season for him so far, that's for sure.
It's been a poor season.
Yeah.
And I know we're going to run through like a million different names of many strikers, but the obvious ones are someone like Erling Haaland. If you've got to spend, because of the contract that Harry Kane's still got for another 2.5 years, if you're going to spend 80, 100, 120, whatever Daniel Levy wants for Harry Kane, why not go spend it on Haaland?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's only one of him.
Sure. Yeah.
But if not Haaland, why not Vlahovic, who's had a great start to the season with Fiorentina? If not him, why not go and buy someone else? Like, there's so many strikers coming through that really was...
Yeah, Mbappe's contract as well, all these things.
Out contract.
Yeah, Kane is down that list now, for sure.
Yeah, he's moved down, and rightly so,
Yeah.
on the priority list.
Yeah.
Next up, Shovit Dakal has said, do you think individual brilliance has fallen in top-level European football in the past 2 or 3 years or so?
Well, has that directly, connected to the fact that Messi and Ronaldo are
I think yes, as
coming to the
well.
ends of their careers? I actually think we just have to look harder for it now, which is not a bad thing. We've seen the game dominated by these two legends for a long time, with many other good players maybe not quite getting the headlines that they would have deserved without those two in the game. Now you can see with a lot of these young players coming through, with guys like Haaland that you've just mentioned, there's plenty of individual brilliance. You just need to maybe pay a bit more attention these days.
I think it's always been there. It's just
Definitely.
Messi and Ronaldo are the anomalies, by the way. They're the freaks outside of the game.
Yeah.
The rest of the game's always been individually brilliant.
Yep.
They're just incomparable, so...
Yep, no, totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree. So from Syed Afhamullah, do you think Barcelona can land the signing of Erling Haaland?
Oh, this is a tough one. I was thinking about this earlier. I was thinking, yes, Barcelona hold many sort of good memories for kids who grew up watching that insane Guardiola team. That's what draws everyone to Real Madrid.
Yep.
Like, if you grew up watching in the last few years this insane Champions League winning team of 4 out of 5 years, you want to move there. The problem that Barcelona have now is if they do not make the Champions League.
Yep.
For every big player, this is the guy who wakes up to the Champions League theme music, apparently.
Yeah.
Like, to say, even if it's for 1 year, hey Erling, we finished 5th, gonna be Europa League. We don't know how much we're going to improve.
Yep.
Others like Atleti, Sevilla, and whoever else are really good. Even one season outside of the Champions League isn't good enough for the players who want to be at the top level.
Agreed. There are 3 things I think that you need to have to land Haaland. And one, you need to be able to pay the transfer fee, of course.
That's true.
And which Barcelona could probably make work, even though it's been documented that they're not as fiscally sound as they used to be. But 2, they need to pay a mega amount of wages and the payment to his old man and his agent as well. So add that onto the bill as well. And the third thing that you mentioned as well, of course, is yes, he's going to want success. He's going to want to play in the big tournaments. He's going to want to win trophies. And if you are not in a club to be able to tick all those 3 boxes, and that's very hard to do at the moment, then it's really going to hurt to your chances of getting him.
And there's a few clubs who can do that.
Yes.
Like Man City, Bayern, Liverpool.
Yep.
They're always tough for Barcelona.
Yep, absolutely.
Next up, Chris Matt has said, who should Dortmund replace Haaland with? He's given 4 options here.
Okay, yeah.
So you've got Karim Adeyemi, who's doing very well with Salzburg.
Yes.
You've got Darwin Núñez at Benfica. You've got Dusan Vlahovic, who we mentioned, at Fiorentina, and Timo Werner, of course.
So, all very good players and also very different ones. I think Adeyemi is going to arrive regardless of what happens to Haaland. That's what I believe. And they're also very different players. I think Adeyemi is actually more towards a more sort of, if Royce was a striker or more of a striker, that would be Adeyemi. Whereas you can't really compare them directly, Haaland and him. So he arrives regardless. I think if you're looking at a like-for-like
Do you mean arrives at Dortmund or just in the... Oh, okay.
Yep.
You heard it here first. Go on.
If you're talking about a like-for-like replacement, replacement or closer to a like-for-like replacement. Then you've got to rule out Werner as well. Completely different player, completely different
I would rule out
approach.
Nunez as well.
So Nunez and Vlahovic would be my two ones. And then it's going to come down to money. So I like the Fiorentina man. I think he would be a really, really good arrival. But I think, I'm not sure if Dortmund are going to sign Adeyemi, which, as you said, I believe is going to happen.
Yeah.
And then one of those other three, irregardless. I think there's just probably only so much money to go around.
That would spell the end, though, for Haaland. Like, as soon as Adeyemi comes in, it's basically the club saying, we're going to lose him.
I disagree. Really? I think they're still hopeful of having both. But I think they can easily operate, not easily, but they can operate without one.
At the end of the season, they'd lose Haaland.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, maybe we'll get 6 months of that partnership. Maybe.
It would be fun. Definitely.
Well. It's you up next.
I'm up next. So from EO Wolf, what transfer were you most shocked by during the summer?
Has to be Messi.
Yeah.
There was never going to be another answer.
Yeah, it's true.
I know there was so much talk about it. And you're like, there's talk, but he's not leaving. This is Messi, this is Barcelona. The fact it actually happened was just like too much to compute. It just doesn't make sense.
It just really shows that we sit here and we none of us know anything.
Yeah.
Anything could happen in football, and that's what happened.
There was talk about it, like, we don't know if we can sign him up because of the wage structure. They're outside of it, but they'll make way for Messi.
Sure.
And then it kind of happened, and you're like, no, really.
Yeah.
Like,
Still weird seeing him run out in that kit as well.
I still have a feeling he might return.
Oh yeah? Okay.
I'm not as confident as you.
You've heard it here first.
Right, next up, Majdan TV has said, who is going to be the first Newcastle signing in the transfer window, or which position?
I mean, if you look at the headlines now, we've read about Coutinho, we've read about Jesse Lingard. I don't think that's the sort of player that they need. What they need is more at the back.
Yeah,
that's clear. So. I think I read something the Athletic tweeted today about they're actually conceding one penalty every 2.7 games, which is incredible when you are a team struggling to win football matches, and yet you are then giving away that much. And of course, that's the end result of a inability to defend in a proper way. So I think defence is where they should concentrate. I mean, they've talked about Nicolas Sula at Bayern. I think that could be, to be honest, be a good move. I mean, look at the squad. It would be an improvement at least.
It would be ridiculously good for Newcastle. I just can't see him.
Botman as well at Lille. But I think the problem with Newcastle is that they are still very likely to be relegated. And the only players they're going to get in are players who are probably going to be overpaid because they need to take a risk, almost like a risk wage to come and join this club. And that straight away is not necessarily building the right core for a team. So they're really in a rock and a hard place here.
I feel like they'll go for an English player. I don't think they're going to go abroad. I can't see them.
Who would be your choice then?
Someone, if they're going to go in defence, someone who's played in England, I mean. So someone from within the Premier League.
Phil Jones?
Yeah. Phil Jones hasn't got another option. There's talk about James Tarkowski from Burnley. I know he's 30, 31, maybe a last big payday. You're kind of looking at that person who it doesn't matter if they go down because they're going to have a good season in the Championship and come back up.
Sure.
So I would say Tarkowski or Phil Jones, one of my two.
There you go. So from Salman, who will be the biggest transfer signing in the Premier League in January? What's your prediction?
Ooh, the biggest signing.
That's from Salman Omar. Sorry, I didn't say that.
Wait, are we talking money or name?
Let's go with name. Yeah, the one who steals the headlines, which might be the same.
I think Dele Alli.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think money because it looks like it's a loan. Looks like that's what Spurs want to do. Yeah, Dele. And the reason being is because I can't see him leaving the Premier League. I don't think for a 6-month loan I can see him going anywhere but to another side in the Premier League. And that is massive for someone who was England international, helping Spurs to Champions League finishes and to the final of the Champions League. To a guy who can't get a look in under Antonio Conte. And it's clear that he's not going to get any minutes. And on top of this, he'll be going to a side, I don't want to be offensive to smaller sides, maybe a little bit below him. I think,
or at least below where he's come from.
Below where he's come from, yeah, true.
I think there's a lot in the last year and a half that, that's put him in that position anyway. Yeah.
I mean, like we mentioned before, Newcastle seems to be the one to go to. they've got more to focus on than attacking players, I think.
Yeah, I would agree.
But there are other teams who could definitely use a good Dele Alli.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be one of the biggest names to go in the Premier League, certainly out from the Premier League club. Bringing someone in, we see in January, no one really spends.
Yeah, sure. Not anymore. No,
not stupid money. Next up, Gamer Boy has said, which team has impressed you the most this season?
Listen, maybe it's not even this season, but I'm a massive Atalanta fan. After several seasons now of them, it's not even overperforming anymore. We are getting used to them.
Being good.
Yeah, being good. And every year they lose big name players. Romero, of course, with your guys now. They lost Gomez before that as well. Across, time, they've consistently lost some of their best players, but have found a way, and of course they've spent money in return, they've found a way to regenerate and to keep a momentum that a club that size would struggle to do in many other leagues. And they are now just, I think, a couple of points off top at the moment. Yes, they didn't go through on the Champions League side of things, but they're still going to be in the Europa where they could have some success.
Yeah.
They are a club that I think are you can't even say batting outside their own average anymore. They are literally showing that they need to be there, that they deserve there. And I think that's a club that I've really, really liked the way they've gone about things. Yeah. Is there one for you,
I have
actually?
to agree. I would say in European competition, Villarreal. Because again, the size of that club, Villarreal, is very, very small. They actually knocked Atalanta out in the last group stage. They're really impressive. I think Betis are doing well at the top of La Liga.
Sure,
But I think, although it's gone off the ball a little bit recently, and this stretches back to last season as well in England, West Ham have been
I would totally
such
agree.
a ridiculous change in fortune for West Ham.
Totally agree with that. Right, from Gino Otti, do you think Conor Gallagher has a chance of staying at Chelsea, or should he consider actually signing full-time for Crystal Palace?
Okay, Palace would take him in a heartbeat, and he'd be brilliant at Palace. So yes, I think that should be considered for a definite. For some reason, I feel like Chelsea are giving a little bit more chance to youth players. There was a time, pretty much the most of the last decade, where they let, especially De Bruyne, Salah and Lukaku go. They were youngsters, they didn't get much of a chance, and they are out the door. Never mind when it comes to other youngsters. There were some players that Chelsea had on loan. Remember that Lucas Piazon? Who had like 20 loans.
I mean, Marco Marin was one.
Marco Marin's another one. Ruben Loftus-Cheek went out on a hell of loans, and now is just about made it into the team. He's not a guaranteed starter. So normally I'd say get out of there. That is a loan factory, and as soon as they can get a bit of money, they will. But now, especially, I think it's Trevor Chalobah. In the defence this season.
Also James as well.
Reece James.
Yeah, they're getting chances.
And Mason Mount, of course, last year. They've shown actually Chelsea that on occasion they do promote the good English youngsters.
And Tuchel does like playing young guys as well. I think a lot will depend, to be honest, on what happens with Hudson-Odoi for me. That's potentially a position that Gallagher could come into, but he hasn't really quite convinced Tuchel yet, and I think there's a big question mark about that, because I don't know, you can only have so many of these project players in your squad.
True. I think as well, moving into the middle, like Kante and Jorginho are so good, and Kovacic as well. There's just so much across that midfield. It will be tough. I think it'll be worth it for him if he gets game time. Don't become another bench guy.
No, exactly.
Don't do that.
Exactly.
Araf Alsan has said, what is your favourite non-football YouTube channel?
Oh, wow. Jeez.
Paddy only watches OneFootball stuff.
Yeah, I only watch OneFootball stuff.
Strict subscriber.
No, actually, I mean, this is probably a bit of a cheat, but there's a great channel that I like, and actually we may do a little bit of work with them, so it's a little bit biased next year, which is called Athletic Interest. And yes, they do football content there, but it's those explainer type videos. And they really dig into it in a animated way that's not just football. There's also the business side of other sports and things like that. I like those explainers. I like sort of sitting there and being immersed in a topic and coming away thinking, I feel a lot more educated, a lot more in the know after having watched this. Unlike our videos, of course.
Completely different.
Yeah, which are just complete head fillers. Yep, so now on to you, and we've spoken about him before, from Jacoby. What club will help Dele Alli get back to his best? You sort of touched upon that already.
This is a little bit of a good question, but I didn't actually put a name on it because I don't think Newcastle will be best. I think Dele Alli, despite the fact that I think things have started well, and I think Jacob Ramsey looks like a phenomenal player for Aston Villa, Ali under Gerrard for me at Villa would be phenomenal.
I like that.
I think he'd be really good, and I like Ramsey. I like the way he's progressing, and I think for him to get less game time because of Ali would be detrimental. But having said that, somewhere like that, or potentially even Leeds as well, with that bit of quality in Ali, I think would do really, really well.
Yeah, it's certainly not a club that needs to get themselves saved this season.
Exactly.
It needs to be someone who's convinced of their own style, is medium, table safe. Otherwise, I don't see Newcastle taking a risk on that.
I'm not putting Ali in a relegation battle with Newcastle.
No. Yeah.
No way. No way. Oh, right, it's me next. This one comes in from RK. This is a personal question for you. Does Paddy like Yorkshire puddings?
I mean, I'm not obviously English. Yeah. I don't know why I'm getting this question, but in general, I mean, they're great, aren't they? Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, can anybody not like a Yorkshire pudding?
Well, there's probably going to be loads of people. Probably people don't even know what Yorkshire pudding is. They're great.
They are very good.
Never have too many.
Enjoy a good roast. I think we all, I mean, if you do like meat and if that's what you eat, then a good roast is one of the better ways to eat it. And having Yorkshire pudding there with a bit of gravy, definitely no complaints from me. Yeah.
Well, you've made someone's day there.
Okay, good. I feel like there's something else coming there, but maybe we can come back to that. So the last one from me then, from Tasty Unicorn. Amongst current and retired footballers, who do you think would be the best and worst Santa in a Christmas movie?
Santa in a... We've just been talking about Christmas movies. Some of them are so bad that I feel like you could even have an absolutely terrible player in there and he'd still look pretty good.
Yeah.
A terrible actor.
Yeah.
Best and worst. Do you have answers for this as well?
I feel like Michael Owen would be a terrible Santa. I just feel...
He hasn't even seen these Christmas movies.
No, that's true. First, so he has no idea how to act as Santa. Yeah. His exposure to Santa is from books that he probably doesn't read either.
It's minimal.
And then outside the shopping centre on the way in. So, I think he would be bad. I think Eric Cantona would be good.
I put Eric Cantona for my best.
Yeah, sorry, I stole you. This is your question, but
Eric Cantona, that certain style that he'd add to the role. I think bad Santa for me would be Jurgen Klopp.
Oh, really?
It'd just be too loud. Just you'd be sat on his knee asking for a present and he'd be screaming in your face.
Wow, okay.
He'd be pumped up. Yeah. Big pearly white teeth staring down at you.
Definitely.
It'd be scary in the middle of it, because Jurgen Klopp's a big guy.
100%,
That'd be scary down your chimney, no. Not for me.
At least we agree on Cantona. I just think he's got a lot jollier in his old age.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that just works.
He's enjoyed it. Right, we have one final question. This one you don't know about.
Okay.
This is like a quick quiz question for you, which is great, and it was given in by MNI10. And I've collected a bit of clues on this. He says, name the one player... So this is in the Premier League. Yeah. Born on Christmas Day.
Oh.
On the 25th of December.
I wouldn't even know. Okay, can I ask? Because otherwise
I've got a few clues here.
You've got clues. So what do I do now?
So
I can tell you now, I don't know.
The first clue is plays in the Premier League.
Okay. Plays
currently in the Premier League. Active. The second clue is that today, on Christmas Day, he is 25 years old.
Okay.
Because of the age range. The third one, he is Argentinian, but yet to play for his national team.
Oh, wow.
And the last one is he moved this summer for 40 million euros.
40 million euros.
He's been called up a few times.
This should be very obvious for me.
He's yet to play in the national team.
This should be very obvious for me.
This was an excellent question, by the way. I think I said it, MNI10. Thank you so much.
This should be a very obvious one.
Well, it's not someone that, like, the biggest teams in the Premier League. It's not a top sixer, for example.
Yeah, but that's a lot of money that doesn't really put you under the radar.
That is a lot of money.
Yeah.
It was quite early on in the summer, moved... Oh, actually, there's one more clue that might make it a bit easier. Moved from a recently promoted team into a Premier League team.
Is this person at Villa?
Yes. We're getting closer.
Does his first name start with E?
It does.
Then it's Buendia.
Yeah, it is. Emi Buendia. I literally looked after this question and like, who else was born 25th December?
I feel I would have looked real stupid if I didn't get that.
Man, there was loads. There was like other footballers who retired. Or quite in some lesser known leagues, shall we say.
There you go,
And I was like, Emi Buendia is the only
one. But happy birthday to Emi. Yeah.
But decent signing as well.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a bad player.
100%.
Right, that is all from our holiday Q&A special. Thank you so much, as always, for all of your questions. We hope you're enjoying the festivities. And for myself and Paddy, we shall see you guys soon.